Today, we're dissecting the visceral beauty and, frankly, the terrifying power of the BMW M3 Competition G80. All right, let's jump right in, because what we're looking at isn't just a car, it's a statement. We're gonna break down exactly how BMW engineered a machine that balances right on the razor's edge between high automotive art and hardcore, uncompromising science. We've gotta start with that jaw-dropping visual design. I mean, just take a look at this untamed aesthetic. That striking red exterior, it doesn't just ask for your attention, it absolutely commands it with every single angular contour. The way the light catches those sharp, sculpted lines, it hints at the sheer aggression lying underneath, way before the engine even turns over. And honestly, seeing a machine like this forces us to ask a pretty fascinating question. What actually happens when cold, relentless engineering meets untamed, emotional aggression? Like, how do you take the precise, rigid math of thermodynamics and aerodynamics and translate it into something that literally makes your pulse race just by standing next to it? Well, to answer that, let's just let the visual presence of this thing breathe for a second. That aggressive red aesthetic is absolutely fundamental to its street presence. It isn't just a color choice, it's an announcement, right? It deliberately sets the tone for the whole experience, kind of priming your brain for the insane performance data we're about to get into. Just check out this provocative stance, that massive, polarizing front grille. Whether you love it or hate it, there is no way you're ignoring it. And it is definitely not just for show. Every intake, every meticulously sculpted curve is designed specifically to slice right through the air and, frankly, intimidate the road. It breathes in the atmosphere to feed the monster engine behind it while simultaneously channeling airflow to literally force the car down onto the tarmac. You can really trace that raw performance from front to back here. The massive amount of air aggressively swallowed up by that imposing front end is channeled all the way through the beast and eventually blasted out the back through those massive quad exhausts in the rear diffuser. The whole design language is just incredibly consistent. It speaks volumes about pure speed from every single angle. But as we all know, aesthetic beauty and aggressive styling are really only skin deep. The true nature of this car, the whole reason it commands so much respect on the road and the track, is found when we transition under the hood to the actual heart of the beast. So let's take a breath, transition over to the data, and see how this all builds into such an incredible performance profile. 3.9 seconds. That is all it takes for the competition model to violently launch you from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. I mean, just process that for a second. In the time it takes you to say that sentence out loud, this 2-ton machine is already hitting highway speeds. It's mind-boggling. So what actually makes that mind-bending acceleration possible? Well, that blistering speed is fueled by a staggering output of 510 horsepower. And the absolutely crucial point here is exactly when it delivers that power. It hits its absolute peak at a screaming 6,250 RPM. Hitting peak power that high up in the rev range is just insanely exciting, because it means the engine actively rewards you for pushing it. It creates this visceral driving experience that practically begs you to test its limits. Let's dive into the science behind that power for a minute. This raw energy comes directly from BMW's M twin power turbo technology. We're looking at their classic inline 6-cylinder engine with precisely 2,993 cubic centimeters of effective capacity. It's paired up with 2 monoscroll turbochargers, indirect charge air cooling, and a high-precision injection system operating at a massive maximum pressure of 350 bar. To put that into perspective, that immense pressure ensures the fuel is atomized perfectly into the cylinders, which creates a much bigger, much more violent combustion. This right here is exactly where relentless engineering perfectly serves that untamed aggression. Now, to truly understand what the competition badge signifies on the trunk, why it elevates this vehicle so far above a standard M model, we've got to look closely at the clinical, precision-engineered data separating the two. Because that badge, it isn't just cosmetic, it is a promise of significantly more potent capabilities. When you contrast the numbers side by side, the superior beast definitely emerges. The base M3 sedan gives you a very respectable 480 horsepower managed by a traditional 6-speed manual. But the competition model, it bumps that output up to the 510 horsepower we just talked about, and it pairs it with a lightning-fast 8-speed M-Steptronic transmission with Drive-A-Logic. That gearbox is quite literally engineered to shift faster than humanly possible. But, as any driving enthusiast knows, raw, terrifying power is completely useless without control. Honestly, it just translates to tire smoke and wasted energy. And that brings us to the precision driving dynamics that actually harness all this immense energy and let the driver command it.
The foundation of this control is the standard adaptive M suspension. This highly advanced system ensures relentless, unyielding grip on the road. It utilizes a specialized double-joint spring strut front axle combined with a 5-link rear axle, both built with lightweight aluminum construction. This specific setup maximizes the suspension's elastokinematics. Now, in plain English, that just means the suspension dynamically flexes and reacts perfectly under extreme loads, keeping those tires absolutely glued flat to the asphalt.
Of course, going fast is really only half the equation, right? You need to be able to stop just as violently. Tucked right behind those stunning black light alloy wheels are the massive M compound brakes. They're basically just standing by, ready to instantly tame the car's 650 Newton meters of maximum torque at a moment's notice. The really crucial point here is how these brakes maintain their stopping power without fading. They provide absolute confidence at extreme speeds by utilizing a vented design to dissipate all that intense heat. Up front, you've got serious stopping power with 6-piston fixed calipers, which makes sense since that's where the majority of the stopping force is needed when the car's weight violently shifts forward under heavy braking. And those are perfectly balanced by single-piston floating calipers in the rear. It's totally a track design setup, but beautifully calibrated for the street. Let's just take a second to really appreciate this side profile. Even standing perfectly still against a moody backdrop like this, the G80 competition is just a masterclass in automotive engineering. It perfectly blends the emotional art of its exterior styling with the cold, calculated mathematical science of its internal components. Everything we've discussed today essentially culminates in this single, unified machine. So, as we look back at these precision specs and the sheer aggression of the design we've explored today, we're left wondering something pretty profound about the automotive landscape. Is this the ultimate peak of combustion perfection? This machine clearly represents the absolute pinnacle of a very specific era of engineering. I guess the only question left is, are you brave enough to take the wheel? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this deep dive has given you a newfound appreciation for the incredible science driving this untamed machine.